So, Mr. Rubik, where do you come from?
My home. Well, it is a house in the city. Which is in the district? Which is on the continent? Which is on the planet? Which is in the galaxy? Far, far, far. Very far. Far away from here. We call it Rubik's home on the Rubik planet. Now, let me tell you the legend of the Rubik's Way. It all began on one ordinary day.
At ease, my Rubikians. Greetings, my fellow sisterhood and brotherhood of Rubikian. There is a grave disturbance in the natural order on a distant planet known as Earth. The Earthlings' obsession with greed has plunged their world into crisis. They suffer severe pain and loss due to escalating diseases, global warming, and war. Let us once again follow in our ancestors' footsteps and teach them the Rubik way of love, peace, harmony, and happiness. Make haste. Let us embark to Earth, my brothers and sisters.
Mina do.
Gito, di ma perteci fa na idea. She wasn't without me at the window. On Ashdoms, and Mufflo, and Number Love. Even if not to the boy, was book off the magazine is in the ship, and it's my house. So look at that.
All right, everyone, let's take it from the top one more time. Remember your marks and your lines. Let's make this one the best take yet.
Scene 5. Take 2. Mark.
Action!
Before we get started, let me take off my shirt first. Let us divide the puzzle into 3 parts, and we gonna solve it part by part. Part 1 equals to row 1, which is white face. We face it down. Part 2 is row number 2. Middle row between white and yellow. Part 3 is the last row to solve, which is yellow. Next, we gonna identify selection of each column. Column 1 is on the left when you seeing the cube at the left, column 2 in the middle, and column 3 on the right. Column 4 is first column or on the left when you're looking from right, column 5 in the middle, and column 6 on the right. Step 1. Make a flower pattern. Yellow in the center with white paddle on the fore side. Make sure your yellow center is facing up. This is front view. This is view from back. Turn the yellow side up. Then move the white edges to surround the yellow center. Step 2. Make flower with white center. Rotate row 3 to match edge color with row to center color. Turn the column 180 degree to row 1. Step 3. Resolve row 1 corners. First, we need to learn the most useful set of moves in Rubik puzzle, which is Move 1. Rotate column 390 degree clockwise. Move 2. Rotate row 390 degree clockwise. Move 3. Rotate column 390 degree counterclockwise. Move 4. Rotate row 390 degree counterclockwise. Please remember this set of 4 moves in sequence from 1 to fall. We will call it our 1 right. This sequence will be used frequently. You have the option to follow these steps or do it your own way, which might be faster. The objective is to place the right cubolet in the right position and facing orientation. First, we move the selected cubolet to the same column as its designated position. Then we move it to row number 1, using the 4-move sequence as mentioned before. Sometimes you need to perform a couple of sets to get the cubolet into position. Congratulations! Your row number 1 is complete. Row 2 is to resolve the corner cubolet. Well, we will only need to solve fall cubolet in this row. First, we select one of the edge cubelets in row 3 that does not have a yellow color. Then, rotate row 3 to match the color of the selected cubolet with the center cubolet in row 2. Let's learn the sequence of moves to transfer the cubolet from row 3 to row 2. We will first look into how to transfer it to the right. Let's name this sequence as R2 right. When the cubolet needs to go to the right, turn row 390 degrees to the left. In other words, place the selected cubolet on the opposite side. Then we perform for move sequence, just as in row 1. Rotate column 390 degree clockwise. Rotate row 390 degree clockwise. Rotate column 390 degree counterclockwise. Rotate row 390 degree counterclockwise. Now, we are going to use a new sequence set of 4 moves, similar to the one that we learned, but in a different direction. Rotate column 490 degree counterclockwise. Rotate row 390 degree counterclockwise. Rotate column 490 degree clockwise. Rotate row 390 degree clockwise. The combination of these 9 moves makes up a sequence to transfer cubolet from row 3 to row 2. Our 2 left is to transfer row 3 cubolet to left side in row 2. Let us turn the cube for easier viewing. To transfer the cubolet to the left in row 2, turn row 3 to the right or the opposite side to position the selected dice in standby. Rotate column 490 degree counterclockwise. Rotate row 390 degree counterclockwise. Rotate column 490 degree clockwise. Rotate row 390 degree clockwise. Rotate column 390 degree clockwise. Rotate row 390 degree clockwise. Rotate column 390 degree counterclockwise. Rotate row 390 degree counterclockwise. Here is the summary of the sequence for our 2 left. I think we are ready for the real test. Rotate our 390 degree clockwise. Rotate column 390 degree clockwise. Rotate row 390 degree clockwise. Rotate column 390 degree counterclockwise. Rotate row 390 degree counterclockwise. Rotate column 490 degree counterclockwise. Rotate row 390 degree counterclockwise. Rotate column 490 degree clockwise. Rotate row 390 degree clockwise. In this situation, we require an additional sequence to move the cubolet from row 2 to row 3. We can use either R2 left or R2 right. I'm going to use our 2 right. Rotate column 3 90-degree clockwise. Rotate row 3 90-degree clockwise. Rotate column 3 90-degree counterclockwise. Rotate row 3 90-degree counterclockwise. Rotate column 4 90-degree counterclockwise. Rotate row 3 90-degree counterclockwise. Rotate column 4 90-degree clockwise. Rotate row 3 90-degree clockwise. We have successfully swapped out the cubolet with red and blue colors. As you can see, we have to transfer the cubolet to the left. Let's start sequence our 2 left. Rotate row 3 90-degree counterclockwise. Rotate column 4 90-degree counterclockwise. Rotate row 3 90-degree counterclockwise. Rotate column 4 90-degree clockwise. Rotate row 3 90-degree clockwise. Rotate column 3 90-degree clockwise. Rotate row 3 90-degree clockwise. Rotate column 3 90-degree counterclockwise. Rotate row 3 90-degree counterclockwise. In this situation, there are no cubolet in row 3 without a yellow color. Then, we need to perform the same moves as before to move the incorrectly oriented cubolet from row 2 to row 3. Rotate column 4 90-degree counterclockwise. Rotate row 3 90-degree counterclockwise. Rotate column 4 90-degree clockwise. Rotate row 3 90-degree clockwise. Rotate column 3 90-degree clockwise. Rotate row 3 90-degree clockwise. Rotate column 3 90-degree counterclockwise. Rotate row 3 90-degree counterclockwise. The orange and blue cubolet have been extracted. Turn and match in color. Rotate our 3 90-degree clockwise. Rotate column 3 90-degree clockwise. Rotate row 3 90-degree clockwise. Rotate column 3 90-degree counterclockwise. Rotate row 3 90-degree counterclockwise. Rotate column 4 90-degree counterclockwise. Rotate row 3 90-degree counterclockwise. Rotate column 4 90-degree clockwise. Rotate row 3 90-degree clockwise. Turn and match in color. Rotate row 3 90-degree counterclockwise. Rotate column 4 90-degree counterclockwise. Rotate row 3 90-degree counterclockwise. Rotate column 4 90-degree clockwise. Rotate row 3 90-degree clockwise. Rotate column 3 90-degree clockwise. Rotate row 3 90-degree clockwise. Rotate column 3 90-degree counterclockwise. Rotate row 3 90-degree counterclockwise. Congratulations! You have now completed row number 2. Welcome to part 3, the final row of Rubik Cube 3 by 3 by 3. We are going to subdivide this part into false subparts. Part 3.1, resolving the directional alignment of the edge cubelets. Part 3.2, correct the position of edge cubelets. Part 3.3, to position the corner cubelets in correct spot. Part 3.4, to resolve the facing orientation of corner cubelets. The next objective is to achieve a result like this. All yellow edges facing up, forming a yellow flower or plus sign. After completing row 2, 3 common patterns may appear on the top yellow faces. 1. A yellow line. 2. A yellow angle. And 3. A yellow dot. We will go through these scenarios one by one. We rotate the cube, or row 3, to make the line horizontal. Rotate column 3 90-degree clockwise. Perform sequence our 1 right at column 6. Rotate column 6 clockwise. Turn row 3 clockwise. Turn column 6 counterclockwise. Rotate row 3 counterclockwise. Turn column 3 clockwise. Let's just summarize the move for yellow line. Scenario 2, the yellow angle. Rotate row 3, or the entire cube, to position the edge cubelets at columns 2 and 6, and another at columns 3 and 5. Rotate columns C2 and C3 clockwise. Perform sequence our 1 right at column 6. Rotate column 6 clockwise. Turn row 3 clockwise. Turn column 6 counterclockwise. Rotate row 3 counterclockwise. Rotate column C2 and C3 counterclockwise. Let's just summarize the move for yellow angle. In this situation, we first perform the yellow line sequence. We will then determine the next move based on the new pattern that appears, whether it is a yellow line or a yellow angle. Now we conclude that we have a yellow angle. Let's proceed. The objective in this part is to resolve the position of the edge cubelets. It is crucial to memorize the color order of the Rubik's Cube. With yellow facing up and in counterclockwise, let's start with red, followed by green, then orange, and end with blue. In this part, we will explore the impact and outcome of this sequence of moves. We will mark the cubelet as 1, 2, 3, 4. The cubelet marked with the number 1 is the one closest to us, and it will remain stationed in its position. Cubelet mark 2 will transfer to position 3. Cubelet mark 3 will transfer to position 4. Cubelet mark 4 will transfer to position 2. The cubelet marked with the number 1 will always remain stationary, while the rotation of the other cubelets will always be consistent. The correct color order of the Rubik's Cube is red, green, orange, blue, red. The example color order is red, orange, green, blue. When red is marked as 1, the color transformation order is red, blue, orange, green. When orange is marked as 1, the transformation order would be orange, red, green, blue. When green is marked as 1, the transformation order would be green, orange, blue, red. When blue is marked as 1, the transformation order would be blue, green, red, orange. As we can see, when green is marked as 1, it will result in the correct color order transformation. In this example, the green cubelet is the solution. Rotate row 3 to align the color of the center cubelet in row 2. Let's us try to move the edges into their positions. Rotate column C3 clockwise. Rotate row R3 clockwise. Rotate column C3 counterclockwise. Rotate row R3 clockwise. Rotate column C3 clockwise. Rotate row R3 180-degree counterclockwise. And last step, turn column C3 counterclockwise. Let's us review the steps in this part. Depending on the situation, sometimes we need to repeat the sequence to swap the cubelet positions and achieve the correct order. Congratulations! This part is complete. In part 3.3, we will explore the correct positioning of the cubelet at the corners of row 3. We will analyze the impact on the cube after applying the designated sequence of moves, similar to what was done in part 3.2. In this scenario, we mark the corner cubelets with blue and red colors as 1 since it is in the correct positions. We mark cubelet 2 with green and orange, cubelet 3 with orange and blue, and cubelet 4 with red and green. After the sequence, cubelet 1 blue and red remains stationary. Cubelet 2, green and orange, moves to position 3. Cubelet 3, orange and blue, moves to position 4, and cubelet 4, red and green, moves to position 2. All cubelets are now correctly positioned. Here's another example where the cubelet with green and orange colors is correctly positioned. After applying the sequence, all cubelets moved into their correct positions. At times, we may need to repeat more than one sequence to correctly position the cubelets. Let's learn the moves in the sequence. First, rotate the cube so that the cubelet marked as 1 is placed at column C3 and column C4. At times, we may not have any correctly positioned cubelets. If that's the case, we can mark any cubelet with the number 1 and proceed with the sequence. After the first sequence, we can select the correctly positioned cubelet and mark it as 1. Then go through another round of the sequence. Rotate row 3 clockwise. Turn column C3 clockwise. Turn row 3 counterclockwise. Turn column C1 counterclockwise. Turn row 3 clockwise. Turn column C3 counterclockwise. Turn row 3 counterclockwise. Turn column C1 clockwise. Here's a 9-step sequence in part 3.3. We are now moving on to the final part of the Rubik's Cube puzzle. Welcome. This is the very last and also the easiest part of the puzzle. All we need to do is keep twisting the cube. Step 1. Turn the row 1 facing up. In step 2, rotate the cube to align the unoriented facing cubelet with columns C3 and C4. In step 3, perform the R1 right sequence. Repeat this step if necessary until the selected cubelet is facing the correct direction. In step 4, rotate row 3 to align the unoriented cubelet facing to columns C3 and C4. Perform the R1 right sequence until the selected cubelet is facing the correct orientation. Repeat step 4. Yay! You've done it! You've conquered the Rubik's Cube challenge with skill and determination. Great job! Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and ring the bell for more exciting content. Stay amazing, and we'll see you in the next one.